Amidst the vast expanse of the South Pacific, isolated by the endless blue, is the Republic of Fiji. 322 islands forged in the heat of volcano, rugged mountains fenced by sandy shores. Behind the shelter of its coral reefs, Fiji nurtured a vibrant and unique way of life. Over the century, it grew to be a powerful and proud culture. Victorious amongst early European explorers for its ferocious cannibals and mighty warriors. When the British imposed their rules, they brought Western ways and Christianity. They also brought waves of immigrants to farm fertile fields of sugarcane.
Changes of weather changes the whole way of life. A settlement far away from Town in the Fijian island.
My name is Vilhelmina Tuai and I have been living here since birth. Now I am 70 years old. During my young age, we used to go fishing just next to the river beside my house. But now, due to river flooding, there has been change in landforms and also causing landslide and causing many trees being washed away, to which were habitats to many fish. That is also another reason for a decrease in the number of fish being caught nowadays compared to the past. Growing up in the farm, I was brought up knowing a lot of herbal medicine, which has been really helpful to me. But due to dry spells, many of the herbal medicines that were found a walking distance from my house are endangered and are found in the forest, and which is also a concern for me because I have to walk that far and get my herbal medicine.
Today, an uneasy peace reigns. The new and old ways sits side by side. And the latest arrivals are tourists for whom Fiji Islands are a tropical paradise. New waves of change are looming. They're threatening to turn this idea from playground to battlegrounds. Sometimes the danger is all too obvious. But to those who know where to look, the effects can also be seen in the depths of the forests and beneath Fiji's blue lagoon. Sea temperatures are rising. Coral reefs are dying, and the natural breakwater that protects Fiji's shoreline is breaking away. It's islanders who are in the front lines of the fight to restore the balance, strong and resilient. They also know to nurture and heal. Now they are drawing on both sides of the nature to face the tests the world is throwing at them. Will it be enough to keep this paradise sunny in the teeth of the gathering storm? Today, most of Fiji's 1 million population lives in the big island of Viti Levu. The capital Suva and dozen other towns pulse to an urban beat. But outside the cities, life is organized along traditional lines. It's one of the world's most important multicultural nation and friendly people. Many people are talking about climate change, where it's so far away in the future. Guess what? It's already happened here in Fiji. We need to find a solution to protect the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. They live right across the crossroads of the equator in the international date line, which means they are the first people on earth to watch the sunrise every morning. They are the first community to feel the real impact of climate change. The rise in flood waters has broken into freshwater ponds, destroying crops and forcing villages to evacuate. Here's a term for you: climate refugee. I'm saying it now in 2021, which many of you may be shaking your head, but watch this video in 20 years and we can talk again. To prevent becoming a climate refugee, we need to come together to find amicable solution to combat this situation. But the truth is, no one will be able to avoid the consequences of climate change. If a rising flood level won't directly affect your life, the other extreme weather events from climate change will. Around the same time, it will be destroyed, or certain parts of Europe will turn into a desert. Coral reef will die, rainforest will crumble, natural disasters will become frequent and severe. But for Fiji, it's already too late, and they are the first country to pay the price for rising flood and seawater level and frequent severe natural disasters such as cyclones occurs. When are we going to take this stuff more seriously? We must start asking the question, what kind of future we want to build for our grandkids and our generation to follow. So I'm asking you to keep this video in mind. Watch and share with your friends, because it's probably the most important information I have told you. The future of the island looks dangerously uncertain. Tide has changed and threatened its washed away land with such patriotism. Fiji, the whole world, is feeling the effects of climate change. The biggest threat in the island is El Niño weather pattern. When warm sea current and trade winds weaken or change direction of the South American coast, El Niño can cause dramatic change and variation in weather. In Fiji, is happening more and more frequently. Extreme droughts and severe storm ravage the island. Beneath the waves, the destruction continues. Warming sea that kills the algae that sustain the great coral reefs, its reef that stand between the tempest of the Pacific and Fiji's vulnerable coastline. Without them, islanders can only watch as high tide threatens to engulf their homes. Graves that once laid under the coconut trees now lie under the waves. History is being washed away. 90% of Fiji's population live along the coast. Many are wondering if it's time to head to the hills. But the battle to protect the island from El Niño effects goes on. Droughts are the only problem. Extreme storms will so threaten livelihoods. Even on a beautiful day beneath the calm surface, there are dangerous currents of change. Powered by El Niño, they bring unreasonable weather. Powerful waves can also damage the coral reefs. Without these reefs, foods and protection fish are disappearing. The change of weather threatens the whole way of life. The climate face the uncertain future. If extreme weather continues, it's not just the farmers and the fishermen will be affected. So too is Fiji's tourist industry. Each year, 500,000 arrives looking for their own castaway paradise. Romance, adventure, culture, Fiji has it all. Today, the island hosts one of the most popular surfing swell in the world. And if El Nino continues, even the bravest will struggle to ride up the storm. Inland, there is a different landscape at risk. Fiji's mountainous interior is non-spoiled Eden, imposing cliff-concealed rare orchids, tropic rainforest, and a vast diversity of life. Yet even Fiji's heartland is at risk from El Nino effects. An increase in vast weather with causing landslide and devastating floods. The whole island seems to be sending a message. That's the balance of life here is changing. Since the dawn of time, it's the sea that kept the equilibrium, as powerful waves sculpt in the landscape. Life in Fiji involved in the sink and swell, but the tide is turning. The seas surrounding the island is warming, killing the fragile ecosystem beneath. It's a symptom of global warming that the islander must address or suffer the effects. The reef is also home to many species, and fish produce an extreme ton of sands, which is key to replenish Fiji's shore. And without fish to replenish them, Fiji's beach is washing away. That action cannot come soon enough. In Fiji, people have received another flood warning. It warns that another TDF is approaching to hit Fiji in next 12 to 48 hours.
As you see, this is flooding in Bar, and this is the fourth time that we had the flooding. And the most recent one is flooding that has happened today, and this is due to the climate change.